I mean, we're doing this like every 2 days at the end of the week here.
I know. Well, it's weird because my virtual calendar is really full. I've taken a few classes. Today I went and picked up the goodies for a virtual cheese and wine pairing tomorrow with the rind. So I'm pretty excited about that. I did my first online order curbside pickup because I wanted to make this cocktail tonight. So I got an order with Bevmo, and I haven't done that yet, where they have the whole front of the store blocked off. You're not allowed to approach. They will come to you.
Wow. That's interesting. I was in Rayleigh's a little earlier, and they've got the one way in and then one way out, and I hear a lot of stores are going to be going to a mask only policy here pretty soon.
Yeah, I know Nugget just announced that. So starting Monday, I think you have to wear a mask into Nugget.
Yeah, that's kind of it. So we are just starting this happy hour on Friday, our Friday happy hour, which is always fun. So thank you guys for joining us out there. As you come on to Facebook here, be sure to say hi in the comments. And also this week, we're going to ask you a favor. Today, we're going to ask you to share this on your Facebook page there. Just click share with friends and share this live with people so we can get some more people from all over the country. Because tonight we really are from all over the country.
That's right.
So I'm Russ Reyes from Kilt&Cork, and I'm joined by my host, Carrie Boyle from River City Wine Week.
Hello, all.
Hey, speaking of River City Wine Week, so that's still going, right? We're still going so far?
Right now? Yes. I mean, it just all depends on how things shake out and, what kind of restrictions are lifted.
Right.
So we'll take a look at it probably at the end of April. We'll take a look at it and decide how we're going to proceed.
What's going on?
So, yeah, I'm sure we'll do something. I just don't know if it'll be on the scale that it was last year. Maybe we'll pull back a little bit. I don't know.
A little bit.
You'll just need to go to event after event after event, and we'll just do them all.
I know, huh? Because that's what we're going to do when we're let loose from this quarantine. Everyone's going to be like, running around crazy like stampede.
Yes.
So, yeah, for sure. I see that some people are out there joining. So if you haven't said hi, I can still see you. So I say hi to Linda. Linda is in San Diego.
Hi, Linda.
Linda is cool. And we've got Anne watching from Chico. She must be off tonight. So she's our nurse, our resident healthcare worker who is, maybe she's watching at work. Maybe she's got like a bunch of people watching this. So if you are, cheers.
Cheers to you all.
So yeah, it's been it's not a lot's happened between Wednesday and today, but except for the mask thing. We are seeing that a lot of people are starting to wear masks, but a lot of people aren't. Like I was in the store today, and there were people just walking around like normal, and then there's me with my shema on, and then everyone's their medical mask.
Yeah, well, and I took a drive to Amador County on Tuesday, and I went into the Pokerville market.
Yeah.
And it was like, I mean, they did have signs on the door, but nobody was, I mean, the people that worked there were wearing masks and gloves, but nobody that was coming through the store was guarded. So,
right.
Yeah, and I found out that I was there, I guess, illegally because I posted that I was there that day, and I quickly got a note that I should take that down because they do not want people traveling to the county right now. I think it's been said for Tahoe. So
yeah, that's true.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't Carrie. Don't blame Carrie. So hi to Carolyn, and I'm sure John's watching with you. Carolyn and John Zachary, and they're making martinis, and then Linda is in the process of making her martini. So it is
margarita.
Yeah. I'm sorry, her margarita. And then Marcy is saying good evening. So it's always good to see all you guys out there. So we have a special guest. But first, before we get to her, because she's going to tell us what's going on, I want to ask you what you're drinking.
Oh, me? So
you and everyone else out there, if you don't know their deal, you got to tell us what you're drinking.
So I don't drink cocktails normally. I had one on Wednesday's show. I felt
you did. You had a double margarita.
I was talking a little faster than normal, but there is a cocktail that I do really love, and I discovered it at the Snug. But the Snug is no longer allowed to serve cocktails. They were, I guess they received a complaint and they had to shut everything down. So anyway, this is the cocktail that I learned from them called a bamboo, and it's a wine cocktail. So it's sherry, vermouth, orange bitters, and Angostura bitters, and then Castle Latron and a twist of lemon. It's like nutty and savory and delicious, but it's low octane.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's really good.
So you can drink a lot. Well,
I almost finished it, and we've only gotten 7 minutes into it. So
I know, that's true. I know. I got to be careful because actually after this, I have a tasting that I'm going to be doing from 7 to 8. But I am drinking whiskey because our guest today loves whiskey. And so I said, I got to have whiskey because I know she's drinking whiskey. But this is my own concoction. I had some, everyone's heard of a 7 and 7. I'm having an Evan and 7.
I think that works.
That's my that's my cocktail. So if you guys are out there watching, let us know what you're drinking. And also, again, before I introduce our guest here, I would love it if you're watching this right now with us live on Facebook to share this with your friends. Just click the little share button and it'll share this video. And then that way, invite them to happy hour because you haven't seen them in a while. So invite your friends to happy hour and you guys can chat on Facebook and we can chat with them too. So
sure.
I want to introduce a very special guest, someone who has been a part of my life for, gosh, 20-something years, 25, 26 years. But she's in New Hampshire. We're going to take a test. We're going to see who knows where New Hampshire is. If you're not from New Hampshire, but she's from New Hampshire and really good friend of mine. Her name is Anne Razzaboni. And she is going to join us right now.
Excellent.
From the beautiful state of New Hampshire.
Hey.
And cheers.
Cheers. I have my drink.
I see that. And you've got, wait, is that a big ice cube? You're kind of.
Yeah, the round ones.
Oh, you've got me like, I've just got little ice cubes in here. I'm feeling ice cube envy.
My children have been brought up in a good way. And one year for Mother's Day, they bought me the ice cube trays that make the round ice cubes because that's how you're supposed to drink your whiskey on the rocks with a round cube.
That's right.
Those are good kids.
Yeah, they are good kids.
And what whiskey are you drinking tonight, Anne?
Tonight I am drinking some Old Camp. It's a peach pecan whiskey. And it's really actually hard to find in New Hampshire. So this is the only size bottle I can find in New Hampshire. But you can get it down south. You can get it in the Carolinas. And I have a good friend who lives in North Carolina. And he introduced me to the Old Camp Peach Pecan. And so when he comes up north to Maine, to our summer places up there, I put in an order for some Old Camp Peach Pecan so that I can have big bottles. So
very nice. Well, Lisa Lynn says, way to go. That sounds actually. But I noticed it's in the flask size. So I'm kind of suspicious of whether that's actually the truth, whether that's the only size you can get is the flask.
In New Hampshire, yeah. Actually, I can't even buy it in New Hampshire. I have to go to Massachusetts for that, to the package store. And there's only one that I've found it at so far.
But that is the perfect size for stuffing in your purse.
Yes, it's a travel size.
That's right. That's a go anywhere kind of.
Right? Is it? Can I get it on an airplane? It might be small enough to be on a plane, right?
I don't know. I think that's a little too big. Travel size, though. I like that. So we're going to say hi to some people that are just tuning in out there. We've got Kim Pratt. She's in Georgia. See, I remember now, Kim, where you're at.
I bet Kim could buy that.
So she probably could. And Lisa Lynn, Shannon Daniel, Kelly. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw Lisa Cartier join.
No.
Cheers to Lisa. If you're out there watching, you should say hi to Anne and I because it's been a long, long time. So a little backstory. When I lived in New Hampshire, Anne helped me open up an Eddie Bauer store. That's who I was working with at the time. And I'd moved from Virginia to New Hampshire, not knowing anything about New Hampshire or New England or anything. I was one of those people who figured New Hampshire was like in Canada or something. I didn't really know what it was. I didn't do too well.
Kind of.
So that it changed my life. I swear, moving to New Hampshire and just living in that environment changed my life. But of course, I met Anne, and we had a great staff. In fact, one of so Anne was my assistant manager, and I was a store manager. And my other store manager, or my other assistant manager, Steve Abbott, is actually living in California now and says hi every now and then. And look who just said hi.
There she is.
Hey, cheers, Lisa.
Cheers.
So anyways, that's where Anne and I go way back. And so she knew me when I was, 25 years younger, and I had really long hair. 25
years. Yep.
My hair was really long.
There was no gray, and it was really long. And I remember thinking that, like, man, this guy has better hair than I do.
No, I wouldn't say that, but yeah. It was long at that point, long and curly and just crazy. So Lisa's having a glass of wine. The what?
It was slightly unruly.
It was, yeah. I mean, even now, I haven't used a comb or a brush, I think, in probably 10 years. I just use my fingers.
It's a fingertip kind of thing, yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so speaking of hair, we're going to have to circle back here because Carrie, you've got purple hair tonight.
I have purple hair now. Yay, quarantine. This is what happened.
So how are you dyeing your hair? Like, is that Kool-Aid? What are you doing?
No, they have, well, you go to the grocery store now and there's a hair color aisle. It's pretty well stripped. Mm-hmm. Wacky colors are there. But I couldn't get pink this time. And so I gave my husband a choice of like a normal strawberry blonde or purple. He's like, well, that's a stupid question. Purple, of course. Awesome. So I thought, in the spirit of being an Easter egg or whatever, why not?
Nice.
I kind of like it. It blends into my gray better than the pink did. So I might carry it on.
Yeah, it looks good. I know. It definitely looks good. And the bunny ears, too. I mean, so now you're starting a trend, Carrie.
I know. Well, we have our downstairs bedroom, and the entire closet is filled with costumes because, I go to Burning Man, and that's the one thing I plan for, to go to Burning Man, is what I'm going to wear. I don't really care about any of the other stuff. Well, and what I'm going to fix for food, because I like to feed people. That's my gift out there.
Yeah.
But my husband loves, right about this time of year, I start going to thrift stores and costume shops, and he's like, okay, we have a whole bedroom. Are you just not going to take anything that you've taken for the last 10 years? Like, I'm going to take a few things, So I have about 14 pairs of bunny ears because there is a billion bunny march, and I always have to go to that. But it can't be the same bunny twice. So, yeah.
Oh.
Right, you can't wear the same bunny ears twice.
No, that's so not cool.
That sounds like experience, Anne.
Yeah.
So Anne, we talk a lot when we're on Facebook about whiskey. I mean, every time you post something about whiskey, I post something about whiskey. What are some of your favorite whiskeys?
My favorite. So
what's your
absolute favorite? My actual ultimate favorite right now is Blanton's.
Nice.
Okay.
I love the little, horse guys, the little jockeys on top. So, do you have a bottle of Blanton's at your house?
Yeah, I do, but it's empty. I was looking for it because I got it's empty. No one has
I have an empty bottle.
Is there something about the little, it's a horse and jockey, or are they different on all of them, or is it the same on all of them?
No, they're all different, and it spells out, each one has the letter on it that spells out Blanton's.
Okay.
So you can collect all of them, and then you send them into Blanton's, and they'll mount them for you.
Aw.
I'm sure for a small fee, right?
Yeah.
But it's really cool. So I have 3 letters right now because we went down to Nashville Thanksgiving weekend. Because now that our kids are older, we've agreed to do let's go places we've never been before.
Sure.
And, we love live music. We love dancing.
Sounds like here.
Yeah. And we love bourbon and whiskeys. So we chose Nashville for that weekend, and we went down and we stayed in a Sheraton, and I chose it because it was close to Broadway, but they also had 55 different types of bourbons and whiskeys in their bar in the hotel. So of course I'm like, sold. Let's go there.
Yeah.
And they had Blanton's because you can't get it that often up in New Hampshire. It comes into the liquor stores and it goes out so fast you can't even buy it.
Right.
So when we were down there, we saw it. We ordered a drink and we finished the bottle. Like it was almost gone. We didn't drink a whole bottle at the bar, but clarify that.
Wait, they let you bring a bottle to the bar?
In
the hotel.
At the hotel.
Gotcha.
So I said, what do you do with the toppers? And they're like, we toss them. And I'm like, what? I'm like, they're like, you want it? I'm like, can I have it? I'm like, yes. So they gave me that one. And then when we came home, we have a favorite bar up here. I'll give them a shout out because they're not open at all right now, not even for takeout. So there's Hooked in Manchester, New Hampshire. Great, amazing seafood. Russ, you'd love them. And it's kind of our Friday night date spot. And they started serving Blanton's. We went in there one night and I went to order my Woodford. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're so sorry. We don't have any Woodford tonight. And I was like, ooh, darn. And I was like, and I looked up and I saw the bottle of Blanton's. I'm like, do you have Blanton's? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, that's it.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, that's the top there.
And the bartender, our friend Elizabeth, didn't understand kind of how much I loved it. But I was like, and again, that bottle was almost gone. So we finished it. And I was like, can I have the topper? And she's like, yeah. She goes, you want the bottle? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. So
I have an empty bottle of Blanton's.
The toppers on the top of Blanton's, like she said, they spell out Blanton's, but if you put them in that order, in the Blanton's order, it's actually the galloping of the horse. Yes. So it's the full gallop from beginning to end.
Wow. Look at all that secret knowledge.
Yeah, so right?
we've got some whiskey lovers out there. Michelle awesome. Crawford Halverson says, glad you're talking about whiskey. She's a newbie. And then Carolyn asks, what your thoughts are about flavors coming out of the market, like peanut butter, chocolate, root beer. I guess she wasn't here when you were telling us what you're drinking right now.
The peach pecan. I'm good with the flavors. I think it's gives you a different look at it. And how many times do we pair? Like I like chocolate and whiskey. Like so, why not mix it together?
Yeah, good point. Good point. Carl says hi. So we're gonna get back to whiskey talk here, but we're going to switch to Carrie because Carrie's got some good news. We've been doing in our segments every Wednesday and Friday that we do this. We've been talking about just good stuff. Everyone can read all the bad stuff in the news all you want, but we just want to keep it light, good, and with a cocktail.
Yeah.
So Carrie, you said you're excited about something tonight.
Well, there's a few things actually. There's so one thing, and this is something less good news, but just something fun to do. Well, first, the Spasmatics are on at 8 o'clock tonight, so you can all go dance party after this, just like last Friday. But then, have you heard of the Neon Museum in Las Vegas? So I guess it's kind of a boneyard for old Las Vegas signs.
Oh, yes. I have heard of that. Yes.
And Tim Burton has an exhibit there now that was supposed to end on April 12th, so a lot of people didn't get to go see it. So they did a tour through the entire museum, and they're telling you the history of all the signs and showing his cool stuff. But you can go on to the Neon Museum on Facebook and play it back, and it's a really fun video. It was just a nice little.
That's very cool.
Cool. So there's that. And now for your good news. And you may have heard these things throughout the course of your day, but in India, they can now see the Himalayan mountaintops from up to 124 miles away.
No way.
They haven't been able to do. They said that the air pollution or airborne particulates plunged by 71% in just 1 week. So there are people posting in Punjab the snow-capped mountains, and it's And that, that's not the only story that we've heard about pollution.
Right.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Right.
And then, does everybody know who Tyler Perry is? Did you hear this story?
No, so I didn't hear this. I know who he is, but I didn't hear the story.
Yeah. So he picked up the tab for all groceries purchased during senior shopping hour in 73 supermarkets in New Orleans and Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
It gives me chills just to say that. It's just
so fantastic.
There's so much good stuff going on.
I didn't hear that. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if anybody had not heard, on the 18th, so a week from tomorrow, there will be a big concert that I think is being carried on all the major networks that is organized by Lady Gaga. And it'll be Lady Gaga, Elton John, Lizzo, Casey Musgraves, Billie Eilish, and a bunch of other people. It's Lady Gaga said that she had already raised $35 million to go towards COVID research. So this will not be a telethon, or they're not asking for money. It's just a time that you can kick back and relax and enjoy the music. So that'll be a week from tomorrow.
Right.
And then somebody mentioned this to me last night we had a happy hour, and a girlfriend brought this up, but I didn't read it, and then I saw it today. There is a theory out there that California may have herd immunity to COVID, that COVID may have been here earlier than thought at the end of last year, and that many of us may have already passed through it and have some immunity. And this is coming out of Stanford, so they are testing that theory right now. I thought that was really interesting and maybe hopeful for California, because our death rates are so much lower.
Yeah, they're lower than other parts.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. And kind of
that is good news.
Approach. Yeah, people are getting creative.
I know. I like that. I like that. The good stuff happening out there, and that's what it's amazing about this whole situation, is just how much humor you see online, and all the cool things that are happening. And this, I mean, the fact that I'm here with Anne and you, and we're like just talking to old friends, because I have to give a shout out right now to Brandon Pike.
Oh my God.
Brandon is out there, and Brandon has said hi. Yeah, Papo Machi. So we used to have nicknames, a few of us out there, and Brandon, he used to be actually one of my managers at Eddie Bauer as well. So we're getting like this whole Eddie Bauer crew from R85 together virtually right in front of you, Carrie. It's crazy. So it's very cool. But welcome, Brandon. It's good to see you too, man. So we're talking about good news, and then we're going to switch back to whiskey, because for some reason we're talking whiskey. Anne Razzaboni, a whiskey expert. And
I'm a whiskey lover.
She can drink all of us under the table. I'm just telling you. You heard my story on Wednesday, Anne.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I was dying. I remember that.
Yeah.
I also remember, so we got stuck up there in Vermont because the truck was delayed, I think because of weather. And so we ended up sampling everything you could sample in Vermont. And so that was one of the first nights. And then one of the last nights we were there, I lost some kind of bet to you. And I don't know if it was playing darts, but I'm pretty sure I had a choice of my losing shot being either vodka or Jägermeister. And I chose the vodka, as a smart person would.
Yes, that's a good choice.
But you're like, it has to be a shot you don't like. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's too funny. I don't remember that, but that does sound like something I would totally do. Yeah. I must have had a couple of shots, because I don't remember that.
Oh my gosh. We drank a lot.
I do remember that because we were stuck in Vermont, and it's like, well, what are we going to do? So I know we went to a couple of bars. There were a couple of, Magic Hat Brewery.
Yes,
when it was that we went tiny. To. Yeah, when it was tiny. I guess I haven't been there in a long time, but that brewery is in Vermont, Burlington, right? And
yes, Burlington, Vermont.
It's amazing beer. I used to homebrew that here in California. There was a couple of beers I would brew. Brandon saying you're the queen of Dickel. That's because I turned her on to that George Dickel. I got to also say, Linda from San Diego. So Linda and I have history too. I don't know if Linda wants me to share everything, but I'll let her if she wants to. But anyways, she said there's some good news. Police went around to all the hospitals with lights and sirens at 5 p.m. tonight to honor all of the nurses and doctors. She's in San Diego. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's very cool. So, yeah, George Dickel. Anne, do you want to tell them the story about George Dickel?
Actually, I did not know about George Dickel. My dad was a Jim Beam guy.
Yeah.
So that was really what I drank. Actually, that's what I grew up on. You know, on Sunday afternoons when I drink his drink. My dad was a Manhattan guy, so that is my favorite bourbon drink. A nice bourbon Manhattan. Not every bartender knows how to make that properly, but
it's true. It's a hard one.
So I was definitely the Jim Beam girl, and I think were we in Vermont, or was that still at the same time, or one of your house parties where you
the house party? Oh yeah,
the house parties, team events. They were team events. Sorry.
Yes, that's right. They're team building events. Team building events.
Team building events. But George Dickel is a relatively inexpensive whiskey. Like it's like what, $25 a bottle here.
It's like Jack Daniel's price range.
Yeah, but it tastes way better. And you turned me on to that, and that became my whiskey of choice. And I like the rye the best.
Oh,
but
rye.
I remember bringing it up to the lake, and my dad, and when we go up, we have a family house in Maine, and when you go up there, everybody brings like whatever, their bourbon, their whiskey, their vodka, their wines, and it all goes in a corner, and it's a free-for-all. So whatever's there, everybody can use. And I would only go up on the weekends, and I would go back, and like my bottle of George Dickel would be like significantly declined. And my mom was like, "You might want to put that away when you're not here because your dad likes it."
Yeah.
Right, Dad.
So he was drinking my whiskey.
George Dickel. Yeah, I got turned on to that when I was in Virginia. I lived in Virginia before I moved to New Hampshire, and Virginia really opened my eyes to a lot of bourbons because it's like Vermont. It's like New Hampshire and Vermont, where there are package stores, so you can't buy hard liquor in the grocery store.
Right.
Go and so, but the bourbons there were insane, and so I was drinking different bourbon like every other week. So Carolyn Zachary said the whiskey room in Burlington is great. The whiskey room in Burlington, Vermont. So
it's got a bar.
I'll try that out next time I go up. I haven't been there in a few years.
Yeah.
Because we did go back probably about 5 years ago. Eddie and I went for a weekend, and we went to Magic Hat, and remember when you went on the tour and you like walked through that door that looked like a big like refrigerator door?
Yeah.
Is this for real? Like, what are we getting ourselves into? And since that, obviously they've expanded and grown, but the tour is the old part is still there. So it was fun because they asked you the questions like, who knows? And of course I was like, I do.
Yeah, that's right.
At that point, it was probably, 15 years or so, at least, since we had been there. So they were like, hey, you've been around. I'm like, I remember when, you couldn't buy this only in any other state except Vermont. And,
right. Yeah, now you can get it out here.
Katie Buckley used to bring us growlers, right?
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. And we'd have, when we'd have our team building,
Yeah.
we'd have to go to Vermont to get the growlers and bring them back over. But then a couple of years ago, I saw you can actually get it here in California. At least you could at that point. It was the Magic Hat number 9, which was one of my favorites. But and then Carrie, your mom just got on here and said, "Love the good news." Your grandmother's 97.
Yep, almost 98, and she's
Wow.
by herself. She used to have my Aunt Sharon help her, but my Aunt Sharon's not allowed to go over there anymore because she lives in a assisted living facility.
Gotcha.
My grandmother, last year we all went to Washington for her birthday, and we we had her birthday party it was like the community center in just a multi-purpose room, but you couldn't bring alcohol. So it was like my aunt just grabbed chips and dip and cake and fruit punch from Costco or something. And so that lasted for about 2 hours, and I'm in the corner with my uncle, like, so do you want to go get a drink after this? Here comes my grandmother, 97 years old, shuffling up. It's like, what are you guys talking about? We were going to go to the Bombing Range Brewery, Granny. And she's like, well, I'm coming with you. Like, all right.
That's a cool name.
So she came
God bless her.
Yep, and she drank for free since it was her birthday, and she was 97, and she finished her beer first, and then proceeded. So it was a mug like this. It didn't have handles, but she drank, and she was just looking in the glass and, Care, there's bugs in my glass, and I was like, oh, Granny, those are bubbles. It's okay. She's like, oh. She's pretty good.
Wow, that's awesome. 97
That
is
is awesome.
like a beer. That's very cool.
Good for her.
Every night.
Yeah, that's very cool. I love that. I'll have to say hi to Granny if she's going to watch it sometime.
Yeah.
So if you are out there just joining us, make sure you tell us hi, say hi in chat, and also tell us where you're at. Tell us where you're watching from and what you're drinking. We have a lot of questions on the show because we're supposed to be doing happy hour. This is happy hour.
And this happy hour and going forward, we would love it if you would invite other people to join us just by clicking the share button while this is going live.
That's right. We want more people in our happy hour so we can talk to them and say hi to them. So we've got Michael and Beverly House joining us. They've got 2 wines going. Wow, that's good. The Petite Syrah from Paso and the Sky Hot here from Red Poet. That's a local winery.
Nice.
Nothing like having 2 bottles of wine open for 2 people, Mike. Way to go.
Hey, sharing is caring.
That's right. That is right. So, Anne,
Yes.
we were also talking about when we were talking about what our topics are going to be tonight. Of course, it's always going to be good news, and it's always going to be what we're drinking and how we're coping. And you have a big family, a lot of daughters.
Yes.
So how's that working out during the quarantine?
So we have 4 daughters, and one is married. So she and her husband are off on their own, as they should be, and our middle 2 girls, our second one is in Connecticut with her boyfriend, because when this all kind of fell out, she was like, I'm out. I'm gonna go see Dan. And I'm like, okay. And then our third daughter she's finishing her senior year at University of New Hampshire. Go Wildcats. And she got kicked out of her apartment because they closed it all down. And so she moved in with her boyfriend in Dover. And our youngest is at home with us. So Eddie and Maggie, our youngest, have had a lot of quality time together. We saw our oldest, Katie, and her husband a couple weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, up at the lake. We did social distance while we were up there as well. She works in a assisted living place, so we made sure we were all keeping our space. But it was good to see them. But I haven't seen the other 2 since. I haven't seen Justine since the 16th, and then Gabby since St. Patrick's Day. We had St. Patrick's Day dinner, and then the world shut down.
Then the world, yeah. So that's
stuff with them, like this kind of format with them, or.
We FaceTimed the other night. Eddie and I had our 30th wedding anniversary on Tuesday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So they FaceTimed with us, which was fun. And, but, otherwise, we text and we talk, but
Sure.
It's not the same as when they're with you. So
I just have to tell you, that sounds vicious that both daughters, when this whole quarantine, they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to my boyfriend's house. Bye, Mom.
What are my options?
Yeah.
Well,
let's see, what are my options?
They're both boyfriends are mother approved.
Gotcha.
So that's good. And Justine's boyfriend Dan has he's passed a family test. My brother, my oldest brother Billy. I have 9 older siblings.
Wow. Oh my God.
So I'm the youngest of 10. My brother Billy turned 60 in October, so we had a big party for him. And Dan came to the family party, survived the night because, when you get a bunch of Irish people together, there's a lot of drinking. Just saying. And he stayed up with us, which was good.
Wow.
A lot of drinking.
So, a lot.
So you're probably wondering, if you're just joining us, or if you're wondering, Anne Razzaboni is not Irish.
No, that's my married name.
That's her married name, and her husband is Italian.
Italian Irish, thank you. That's the only reason I could marry him.
There's a little bit of Irish.
He's smiling in the living room right now. He's Italian, Irish, German, I think a little English, but there was enough Irish in there that
it counted.
that he was okay. And 3 out of the 4 girls have blue eyes. We saved that brown-eyed girl for last. But,
that's cool.
So yeah, my maiden name was McHugh, and my mom is a Finnegan. So
that's pretty Irish.
Can't get more Irish than that.
No. Yeah. And Anne loves whiskey. So when I was back in New Hampshire, we didn't drink a lot of scotch. Do you like scotch? Not
my favorite. I mean, again, I wouldn't turn it down, but
if it was the only whiskey to drink.
Yeah, if it was the only whiskey around, I'd drink it. I know we'll give a little shout out to Jim Nelson because he loves his scotch. Another one of our Eddie Bauer alumni. But I'm definitely more of the bourbon and the rye whiskey are my favorites.
Yeah.
It's interesting because your go-to comfort drink is whiskey. Carrie's go-to comfort drink is Chardonnay, but she hasn't been drinking Chardonnay the last 2 shows. It's been
like, I'm not stressed out. When I get stressed out, I drink Chardonnay. But it has to be good Chardonnay. If I drink cheap Chardonnay, well, it can be cheap if it's good, but I get very frustrated if I open a bottle and I don't like it. And then it just makes me more stressed out. So
that's disappointing. What's your favorite Chardonnay, Carrie?
I typically like. I don't have a favorite brand. I sell wine for a living, so I have access to quite a bit. But I usually like things that I wouldn't personally pay for. The more expensive Chardonnay, I mean, there's tons of domestic stuff that I like.
Yeah.
I sell Frank Family Chardonnay. That's the big brand that I represent. So I drink plenty of that.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Well, we've got. No, go ahead.
And I was just gonna say, and then my husband is the bourbon drinker. On my little pickup order today, there was a bottle of Blanton's on that for him today.
Hey, that's cool, Carrie. You got your husband a bottle of Blanton's.
That is awesome.
Heck yeah.
So we've got some more people joining us. Nancy Dobbins is in Sacramento, and she's drinking Jameson's and ginger, which that was almost my choice, but I had Jameson's on Wednesday because Anne
you into it.
Anne talked me into having Jameson's when I was drinking wine.
That arm.
So that I'm sure a lot of people, when I was drinking red wine, and then all of a sudden Anne says, "Well, I see Jameson's behind you."
It's Whiskey
now
Wednesday.
you can't see anything behind me except glasses. Although no one asked me what that is in the corner, so I'm not going to explain that because I asked myself. I'm not going to explain.
You pointed it out now.
You pointed out.
I've seen it before.
But,
hey, Russ, what's that in the corner?
Yeah,
I don't know. I have no idea. So I had Jameson's on Wednesday because of Anne. She made me drink it, so I decided not to have it tonight. So
forced you from 3,000 miles away to drink.
Yeah, we did our strong
Jameson's.
I can't disappoint you and not drink Jameson's Irish whiskey when you're telling me to drink it. Mm-hmm.
No, did you?
Okay, so
like
John Zachary says whiskey is just Scotch without the kilt. So John's one of my kilt-wearing brothers who is probably, he's relaxing with his wife, Carolyn, right now, drinking and visiting with us. So, okay. So Carolyn's going to out me here. She's going to tell you guys what it is.
It's a unicorn.
It's a unicorn.
What kind of a unicorn?
Why do you have a unicorn?
Okay, hold one second.
So why I have a unicorn and what kind of unicorn, those are two very long stories. Carrie. All right, well, now I'll have to show my unicorn.
Well, show your unicorn, Russ. Carrie has two.
All right. I'm showing my unicorn on camera for the first time. Not often that you get to show your unicorn. It's a big unicorn, huh?
It looks
Like a reindeer unicorn.
Size matters when it comes to unicorns.
Right? I don't know.
I mean, look at the size of that.
You say so, Russ.
You see that? It's it was a gift, so we'll just say it was a gift, and I don't have a place to put it except for behind my bar at this point. And
I'm sure Lauren might have suggested you put it back there so no one can see it.
No, Lauren wants me to keep it in the garage, or more specifically in the trash can in the garage. But it has to live inside for right now. Come on, there's not many left. You have to protect them. Where'd you get yours, Carrie?
Well, I'm trying to find. So this one, is you familiar? This is the one from what's the movie with Gru and the Minions? You know, the girl's like, he's so fluffy.
Yes.
This was the toy she won at the carnival.
Oh, okay.
So this one, its little horn's supposed to light up, but I can't work it out. His battery must. And then this one, I might have been drinking. I got this in New Orleans at a mask shop. So it's a handmade, unicorn mask.
Why aren't you wearing it? Okay, I think you need to do the rest of the show.
And she was wearing her bunny ears, but
because my head is too big and does not fit in it. It would be fine when I bought it drinking on Bourbon Street, but so
okay, that makes sense. If you're drinking on Bourbon Street, you buy a unicorn mask and you wear it the rest of the night.
That's right.
I totally understand that.
So
yes, that's
Despicable Me. Michelle said that movie is Despicable Me.
There we go. Thank you.
Linda is agreeing with Lauren that it should be in the trash. So,
come on.
That unicorn was handmade for me, and I have to have it. So
you do. You can't throw unicorns away. That's bad luck. That's like bad karma.
Hey, so everyone knows
you have a unicorn at your bar.
Yeah. Okay. And so, like we've never actually drank to the unicorn song. If you haven't drank to the unicorn, I don't know the lyrics. I know it's like Humpty-Back Whale and Alligator.
Humpty-Back Whale. Yeah.
Okay, come on, let's hear it.
I can't do the lyrics. But,
something about green alligators, long neck geese, Humpty-Back Whale, and a chimpanzee.
Yeah, chimpanzee. There's like all these motions.
When you're YMCA, I like it.
When you're at an Irish bar and they start playing that song, it's insane.
Yeah, I can sing along if the music's going. Then I'll remember the lyrics.
Yeah, it's you have to Google it if you haven't listened to the unicorn song.
You should listen to it every St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You know what? I'm surprised the Dropkick Murphys didn't do that song. They did a live show on the St. Patrick's Day. They didn't do that. But if you haven't heard the unicorn song, I highly recommend that since it's Friday night and you're stuck at home doing nothing, grab your drink and your significant others, depending on what your situation, and and do the unicorn song. Do the unicorn song. It's a great Irish drinking song.
This is your homework. Everybody go learn it, and then we're going to sing it next Wednesday.
Yeah, that's like this is supposed to be happy hour.
There we go.
We're going to do some Irish drinking songs.
Is it Irish?
I think it's Irish. I think it's an Irish
drinking song. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It's an Irish drinking song. It's amazing.
I'm in. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So go find the unicorn song and learn the lyrics and the movements, because you can't just sing it without doing the movements. So Mick, go ahead, Anne.
I was just playing the song in my head. So after the Humpty-Back camels and the chimpanzees, cats and rats and elephants.
Cats and rats and elephants. And you do that really
And
fast.
sure as can be, they just couldn't find the unicorn. I think that's how it goes.
It's okay. So a long story short, it's about Noah's Ark. All right.
Yes.
Because Irish and Anne can verify this. A lot of Irish are Catholic, so it's kind of like I'm sure it was written by an Irish Catholic guy, drunk
That's
someday.
why I have 9 siblings. We're good Irish Catholics.
Good Irish Catholic, and
Yeah.
I'm making myself another drink while I'm telling the story. And so the song is about, Noah's telling all the animals to get their ass on the ark and get their ass on the ark fast because, shit's raining, right? And so everyone does except for
That bloody unicorn.
because the unicorn's just doing its own thing, dancing and prancing and
Gallivanting.
and he's out. Yeah, he, she. You have to assume that there were more than just one, but they were out doing the unicorn thing, and they missed the ark. So that's why we have no unicorns now.
Yes, the unicorns missed the boat. Long story short, there's the headline.
Well,
That's the headline.
I like it. Okay, I definitely have to learn this song.
You have to, yeah, and it's great. If you ever get a chance to be in an Irish bar or
I go to plenty, no problem.
Okay.
When we can all go out to bars again. Find an Irish bar.
I know. And Anne, speaking of that, you were talking. You've got to make a trip out here to California.
Yeah, it's definitely on our list. Eddie and I have never been to California.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, and I have cousins out there and in Palo Alto area, and we've never been.
See, that's good.
Other than visiting family, what's on your bucket list to do while you're here?
In California?
Yeah.
I would see Russ. I would see Steve, and I would and I would go to a lot of wineries.
Excellent. Love it.
That would be my list of things to do.
Nice.
Well, if you can get out here, because Palo Alto is actually not too far from us. It's a couple hours, right?
Yeah.
And while you're there, I mean, you have to, if you've never been to California, you do have to go to Napa and you got to see all that kind of stuff. But if you go to Napa, then you got to come out here to our region because you're going to be like, oh, what the heck? I just spent $50 to taste that winery, and here I could buy a case of wine for, it's, there's some good places to see out here.
Yeah. Well, I know Brandon Pike and I have talked about this a few times, heading out to California at some point. So,
yeah.
Now that the world was shut down, you realize the places you want to go. So I've actually canceled 2 trips, one to Raleigh, North Carolina, and one to Myrtle Beach coming up the end of this month. So I gotta do some traveling somewhere when we can get out. I've been quarantined for my birthday and my wedding anniversary, so
yeah.
I can.
I think
you get to celebrate those. If you're quarantined for your birthday, you get to celebrate at your half birthday.
I think that is a great plan.
Yeah, so those March and April babies, and probably May as well, I would assume, get to celebrate in September, October, and November.
See, I agree with that because I think I'm going to miss my birthday. It's May 3rd, so
I think so.
We're still going to be in some situation. Yeah, Carolyn says El Dorado wines are great. So, and you know what, Anne, if you do come out here, between Carrie and myself, you're just going to be tasting all kinds of crazy wines.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
and won't break the bank either.
Well, hey, we're not going out every week anymore, so we're saving a ton of money.
That's the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, like how many miles per, or what is it now? How many weeks per gallon do you get on your car now?
Yeah. So I actually haven't driven my car since March 16th. When my office shut down, we found out at 4:00 on that Monday. There was rumors, but then the official word came out, and I grabbed what I needed and I left, and I haven't driven my car since. So we've taken a couple of road trips to Maine, but Eddie drove, and so
yeah.
So saving on gas, saving on dinners out. We do a little takeout, but you definitely don't spend as much on takeout as you do when you go out to a bar or in a restaurant.
Right.
And you have dinner and a couple of drinks, and then a dessert drink, and then you go out dancing afterwards, and you might drink some more there, and then you might find out that another bar in club that
I remember that life. Those were the good old days. But Garrett, so speaking of driving, this just reminded me, there are companies out there that are doing the right thing proactively. So my insurance company, my insurance agent, her husband's on, Carol Cox and Annalise Cox. So Safeco just sent me an email today that said they have a customer relief fund because nobody's been driving, so there haven't been any accidents. They are giving us a refund, like 15% on 2 months of your auto premium that'll be credited to your account.
Wow.
That's awesome.
What company is that?
It's Safeco.
State Farm?
Safeco.
Safeco.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard State Farm was doing that as well.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to see, I got Farmers. I got to see if Farmers is doing that because that sounds really cool.
Isn't that nice? Yeah. Well, tell them you heard other companies were doing it. They should.
I know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, jump on the bandwagon.
Speaking of good news, I'm reminded, we were talking about good news. We like to talk about good news on this show, but did you guys see the story about the bar in New Orleans that the woman who owns it, she bought it. It has a history. She bought the bar, but it's one of those bars where people put dollars all over the walls and the ceiling.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So she had to lay off her employees. Obviously, the bar is closed, and she was sitting in her bar one day thinking, "God, I wish I could do something for my employees." And she looked around. She's like, "Idea." So she had some volunteers come in. It took them 5 days to take every dollar off of the walls and the ceiling, and clean every dollar, and count them and stack them. And because a lot of them had like multiple staples, and so they didn't want to damage it. So they took all this money off the wall, and it ended up being like $3,700 or something like that.
Yeah,
and then a anonymous donor gave them another like $600 just because she did that. So the total was over $4,000, and she was able to give each one of her laid off employees $600. I know it's not a lot, but it could be.
It
that could be
makes a difference. Yeah.
totally different.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
amazing.
I thought that was a great story, and they got to one of the employees actually decided that she didn't need the money, so maybe she had a different situation, so she donated that money to one of the other employees that she worked with. And I just thought,
Nice.
wow, that's such a cool, great, story. It looks like we have someone else said that happened at the Goat.
Yeah, the Goat. Lisa Lynn, yeah. The Goat in Hampton. But
That's
Russ,
so cool.
so when you come east again,
I know, which has got to be soon.
yeah, so we'll take it to the Goat, because the Goat
Okay.
is like the best kind of like divey, non-divey bar.
Yeah.
Their mimosas are amazing. They make the most incredible Bloody Marys. Like, they're the bar where they have like the adult fraps, and they're just amazing. That's actually where we spent our wedding anniversary last year. We went there for brunch, and
The
like
Goat.
you jockey for a seat, like you are waiting, you're like ready
Yeah.
to like to scoot in, and yeah, just a fun place. And yeah, they were doing the same thing, which is great.
Let me just ask you that. There's no Tom Brady jerseys there, are there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Are you not a Tom fan?
You know what? I lived in New England for what?
Are you still a fan of that team there? What was that team? The
Here. Do I need to remind you?
I'm gonna make you say it. Yeah.
Let's see. Do I need to remind everybody
Yes,
out
the
there?
Cowboys.
Oh, really?
Yes. Oh gosh.
Carl's
I'm a
like,
Cowboys
I'm
fan.
sorry.
Yeah, not that there's anything wrong with Tom Brady, but he's not anyways, he's not in New England anymore.
He's the
Yes.
GOAT.
He has big teeth.
He's the GOAT.
He's
but
got goat
hey,
teeth.
he's not my quarterback anymore, because he's gone down to Tampa Bay.
He is. Yes, he is. So he's gone now. So I feel bad for you, Anne, because I know he's here for what, like 35 years or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. No. Hey,
He's-
I'd love to see Jimmy Garoppolo come back to the Pats.
No, he's at that other. He's at that other.
Come
on. He's with the sucky team on the West Coast.
He's the reason I finally like the San Francisco
49ers. I think at one point one of my daughters was like, "I'm going to marry him." I'm like, "Go for it." That's all. He's eye candy. I mean, did they win the Super Bowl?
I believe he's a decent quarterback, my friend.
I don't think they won the Super Bowl though.
The other team.
Yeah, the other team won.
But he made it to the Super Bowl, which is way more than the other, however many teams.
Hey, I have faith. Before I die of old age, my team will make it back to the Super Bowl.
You didn't say win the Super Bowl. They just have to make it there?
I've lost too much money, especially this last year. Oh my God. If any of my friends are watching, they'll tell you, I can't even go there. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I have so much faith in them. When you don't that much, you just believe in it, and it just didn't work out this year. So,
this didn't work out.
Not this year. Next year. Always next year, right?
Well, if we have football, then maybe.
I
don't know.
Yeah, there may not be.
Still mourning hockey season.
Yeah, that's right. Because hockey's a big deal in New England.
It is. The Bruins are definitely my team.
Are there like any new hobbies that are emerging because people can't watch sports right now?
Drinking.
that was already my hobby.
I think that was already a hobby. I think people are just really fleshing out their skill set.
Yeah, I think what, cooking. I would say now.
Maybe cooking.
Cooking. I mean, I made caramels last weekend that I still have, and they were amazing. They're so good. I don't know why I never made them before. But my salad order is a fail. I don't know. How about you guys?
Well, you can try again. You have time.
Yeah.
I do.
We have at least another month of this.
I know. I don't know. Anne, what do you find people are doing out there? What's happening in New Hampshire that's different
in New Hampshire? A lot of people are going outside again because it was winter, so now we're able to go out, even though it's still chilly. When I go out for my runs, like I have to avoid people in my neighborhood because I got to keep my 6 feet. But a lot of getting outside. Again, we've been cooped up, so that's part of it. But mostly drinking. If you want to know the truth.
Yeah, it's like Nick said, stamp collecting's coming back. That sounds like a real hoot. And Marcy said that she's added drinking to her craft time. She's multitasking.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, I know. You gotta work that in there.
Yeah. I think I'll work on my golf game a little bit. I got enough of a backyard where I can work on my chipping.
There you go.
Oh.
But
you would kick my ass at golf, I bet.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone kicks my ass at golf.
I'm a good golfer and I'm an excellent tennis player. So
oh my gosh. So all my rogue brothers who are watching this or who have watched this, they're going to be like, okay, she needs to be a rogue brother because you like and you play golf. And you know what? I bet you've worn a kilt before, an Irish kilt or tartan.
I have actually. Well, I was a field hockey player, so we wore kilts when we played. Back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
When dinosaurs walked the earth.
Field hockey. Yes,
we wore kilts with our bloomers underneath. Katie McDonald, we're all drinking, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's my daughter. I'm so proud.
And that's good to see, like mother like daughter. That's very cool.
She is. She's like a mini me.
Love it.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, there's no denying.
This has been a lot of fun. This has been so much fun, Anne.
Yes, this was
Why
awesome.
did it take so long to reconnect like this?
I don't know. I guess it takes a pandemic to bring people together, right?
It does. I mean, even Carrie and I, we've been colleagues for a long time. And we started working together last year on this River City Wine Week, which we'll give some shout outs here in a second. But we started working together on that. And then, I don't know, this was your idea to do this.
Well,
to do the happy hour.
it just went to hell in a handbasket so fast. And I had a really rough first day. Like I was stress eating. Like I was within arm's reach. I was just putting it in my mouth. I had to like get a diversion. So it's like, what can we do? What can we do? Oh, let's do this. So, and I thought we could tell people what's going on out there, how you can help your community, how your community's giving back, whatever, you know. And it's been a lot of fun.
It is. It's definitely
great idea.
And Marcy said that what are
who are those people, Marcy? I don't know them.
Yeah, I honestly don't either.
I'm not sure I trust them either.
I do. I know one person who doesn't drink, and it's for a good reason, but that's it. I don't know anyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, well, my kids, I guess. I don't know. They're underage.
They probably drink, Russ.
I know. Yeah, I mean, literally, like, you know, 500-600 bottles of wine. But see, they don't like wine, so I'm not worried about that. They don't drink the wine. But yeah, totally. They must be. I mean, kids now though are just going crazy, just staying at home doing nothing.
Yeah.
But my boys did it anyways.
Say what?
My boys did that anyway. They were always in the room gaming. So it's like extended gaming time for them.
Right.
Because they can still stay connected.
Yeah, there was a cute idea from, I think it was the City of Winters put it out, where they put out a coloring sheet of Easter eggs so kids could do the pictures at home. And then you put it in your front window. And then on Easter, you take your kids for a walk. You socially distance from anybody else, but you're looking for like, you look for the Easter eggs in people's windows and do a Easter egg hunt that way. So that was
That is so cool.
Well, it's like the bear hunt. Have you seen the bear hunt?
No.
So it's around here. So people have been putting little stuffed animals in their windows or on their mailboxes, so that kids, when they go out for a walk during their breaks or whatever during school hours, they can go on a bear hunt and find them. So not just kids, but adults too. Because I know when I've gone on my run, when I first noticed it, I'm like, oh, they have a bear in their window. I'm like, oh, they have a bear in their window. I'm like, that's weird. And then I was like, that's going to mean something. Like there's too much of it not for it to mean something. So yeah, a bear hunt for the kids. So I put one in my planter by my front door. And then I went for a run early this week, and there was a new bear. Somebody put out a new bear on their mailbox. They tied it.
Cute. I love
tied it to their mailbox. So I'm like, all right, I got to take a picture of this guy.
That's so cool. Linda says that they're doing that. She lives in San Diego, so it looks like they're doing that in San Diego as well.
Yeah, yeah. So
that's very cool.
I know you guys have unicorns, but if you got a bear or teddy bear hanging around, put them in your window or off your mailbox. So.
Oh my gosh! Hey, if you guys want to hang out just a little bit longer, our other guest just joined. We were going to have another guest. Yeah, we were going to have another guest. So Kat, your timing is off just a wee bit. But we're going to bring Kat in. We're going to bring Kat in, Kat Costa.
Hi, Kat.
Just to kind of say hi to us. She's an artist down in Sacramento.
Watch out, Teddy.
And August
with a brand new quarantine baby.
Brand new. Okay. Oh, right, she was totally great until it worked.
So, Kat, we'll have you on. We're going to have you on again, probably next week, just so we can talk about it, because you're doing some pretty cool stuff with art.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, I just started a little Facebook page, so it hasn't totally taken off yet, but just to kind of see what everyone was doing and, make everyone inspire each other.
Yeah. Tell us what the Facebook page is, real quick.
It's just Art Quarantine.
Art Quarantine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Art Quarantine, and it's on Facebook. And it's all about doing art during this time, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of cool because a lot of people that I didn't think would be on there started joining, and then people I've never even seen participate in those kinds of things.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of secret artists out there.
Yeah, right.
Is it by invitation? Do you have to be invited in, or can you just join?
You can just join.
You can just join. So I think, is it art quarantine or let me look real quick.
Yeah, just art quarantine. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Art quarantine. Cool.
Quarantine
We'll have to, I did join that page today, so I'm going to, it kind of inspired me because I do art. Anne knows I do art. Huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
A long time, but actually, no, I dabble every now and then, but I'm going to have to do something to post on there. There's some cool stuff there.
Cool. Good. Yeah. My mother-in-law, and did you see Annalise's piece, Carrie?
where she's posting the art around the house, or did she do
Oh,
something?
she did something.
Oh no, I haven't seen that one yet.
So right after she was like, I don't do art, but I collect art, she made this thing. Yeah.
So Annalise, she's watched this before. She's watched this before on the show.
Yeah, I think she had.
Cool.
Yeah, I think she had. To, still working when we started, so I don't. Her husband Carl was on a little while ago. There he is.
Yeah, there's Carl. Yeah,
that must be Annalise actually.
Yeah.
That's funny. Very cool.
I think Carl's around the house.
We will have to definitely have you back on, Kat. Talk about kind of what's going on with you and what's happening with the art scene and how you're coping, because I know a lot of people out there probably, as soon as you popped on, they saw you have a brand new baby, or like, wow,
Yeah.
how's that working out?
Right? That's fun.
all three of us are like, oh yeah.
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 Project, and then it's like, ah!
That's like code word fun.
Yeah, code word. Fun. Fun having newborns during a quarantine.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. My daughter, I don't know if she was watching tonight, but she's actually pregnant right now. So it's a tough time. Yeah, we had a scare last week. We were worried about her because she thought she might have had it, and the the COVID-19, but she got tested and she's good. But it's tough because you're never out of it.
Yeah.
She's not, just because she's negative now, you still have to worry about this whole situation we're in. So,
So, Kat, can you ever leave the apartment or the house? Yeah, can you ever leave?
There's grass right downstairs, so
so you can go.
Yeah.
So what happens with groceries and things like that? Do you have them delivered or?
Well, Dylan's been getting the groceries, and then we're doing what is it called? Farm Fresh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
we definitely need to talk more about what it's like to be in quarantine with a baby and a family, because we're all like not in that situation.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you guys, I really appreciate everyone being on tonight. Thank you, Anne, for joining us from New Hampshire. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun catching up, and of course, Carrie, you're just amazing. I love having you as a co-host, or you having me as a co-host, whichever way it goes. We're both. But
you have technology, so you can be in charge.
Well, if you are out there watching us, please make sure that you follow or like our pages. You can follow us on Instagram. We're both on Instagram. We're also both on Facebook, and I do have a Kilt&Cork YouTube channel where we put all these videos. So all these videos live forever on YouTube.
Awesome.
And Facebook, so you can always go back and watch that. But please like us and follow us. And we'll catch up with Kat Costa, artist and mom, probably next week. I would say we're definitely going to catch up with her next week now that she can join. You know that? So you guys, cheers so much. Are you drinking, Kat?
Yeah, cheers.
I have a coffee.
Okay. I just want to say thank you guys. Cheers for joining.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
You guys stay safe this weekend. Happy Easter and happy Hanukkah. Or is it Hanukkah? No.
Passover, maybe?
Passover. Happy Passover.
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 Oh my God, I don't even know what day it is.
I
It's the thought that counts.
It is. It's kind of the thought that counts. Yeah, I know. And my friends that are, they're going to like crucify me for that. No pun intended. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. And we will definitely be back on Wednesday at 5:00. Until then, cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Thank you.